So if your consciousness is, if you feel like it's evolving faster than you can handle, it means you're lucky, it means you're blessed. The average person, they don't even know what you're talking about. They don't even think about consciousness and the evolution of consciousness. They think about pleasing their senses, getting their desires fulfilled, their goals met, making money, getting laid, whatever. This is what they think about. So it doesn't even cross their mind, man. And so then the people who, I'm careful using concepts, I'm just using them to point to something, right? The chosen ones, the special ones, the people who are driven deep inside themselves to where they start to even contemplate what this means. Sometimes the mind uses, because it's the mind's job to make ruckus, because then we're supposed to transcend that. That makes us stronger and more stable. We got to have this friction. So the mind will say like, but look at these other people. They're like they just seem to be okay all the time. They're just like, why am I having such problems? I'm like doing a spiritual practice and I'm doing my little, whatever techniques. And like, they don't even think about that. But yet they seem like more happy than me. People have this subconscious mind play. They don't usually share it because it's not comfortable, but it's there secretly. Like, why are they having a better time? Why are they like, something's not right here. Okay, so at some point, grace is going to let you know that like, you're not here, like you've been here before, you've already tasted what it feels like to please the senses and to accomplish your goals, and this whole material identification, body identification. Everyone is really obsessed with how they look and vanity. And man, the identity with this car that we're driving is so deep. It's just everybody, that's all they're thinking about, how they look to other people. If you're on an island by yourself, I guarantee you're not going to care how you look. You're just not going to care. So it's all about how the other people perceive us. That bleeds through into everything. The kind of car you drive, the people you hang out with, where you go, what kind of career you want. It's sickening, you know? But we're here to transcend that. So you've already tasted all that to some degree, yet the tendency to be identified with it's still there because of collective karma, the law. Like, you can't be born here and not be duped by the collective consciousness and identity that permeates this level of existence. You're gonna get sucked into that for a little while, but you've already seen through it. In some lifetime, you've already seen through it. That's why you can't like make it work this lifetime. Like you got, something subconsciously, like I've been there, done that. Like, this is stupid. But yet, like, I am still pursuing it because everybody else is. And so you have to go through that. That causes tension. That causes, emotional heaviness and all that. So then you start to contemplate, start to look for spiritual answers, because your deeper spiritual sanskars, they're sending you there, your spiritual tendencies. And then you start contemplating these things, and it starts to feel like, damn, I'm like outgrowing this whole world. Especially if you've been dealing with what I'm talking about now for decades. Let's say you're 40 or 50 or 60 or 70. You can really, and you've already sufficiently at least tasted what it felt like to have the nice car and make money and get the girlfriend or boyfriend. Like, you've already tasted that a little bit. Just a little bit's enough to like remind you on some level, like, oh yeah, this isn't where it's at. I mean, you can enjoy it for a little bit, but you soon realize, like, this isn't gonna satisfy me. But you don't know what will satisfy you yet, because you haven't. We got to go through this process. That's what I'm saying. This burning of collective consciousness that we have to absorb to some degree by being a human being. So you've realized that to some degree, and you're like, in the planet, you're like, it's really no different than you go to high school. For me, I never liked high school. I like going to rap there and try to impress the girls by rapping and fighting. Yeah, that was, for me, that was the highlight of high school. So, but let's pretend you go to high school. It's 4 years. First year, you're like, oh, this is cool. Yeah. Second year, yeah, this is cool. Third, fourth year, like, okay, I'm ready to leave. And then you're ready to leave. You wouldn't want to stay in high school your whole life. It would be weird. Well, it's the same with this planet. This planet's a little more encompassing than just high school, so it takes a little longer to outgrow lifetimes. So those who have already outgrown it, though, to some degree in a previous life, you may find this life, you've like outgrown it. Like, you're like, it's cool. Like, I'm cool, but man, I can't get down with all you guys that are like really believing that something out here is gonna like make me feel good, because you just know it's impossible. That's what it means. The consciousness is evolving at a rapid rate, and then you start to feel like, damn, I can't handle it. Why? Why do you feel like you can't handle it? Because the mind comes in and says, well, but like this is what you're supposed to do. Look at everybody else. They're like chasing dreams and trying to make money. And I just want to touch on something real quick. I had said a minute ago that we might have to taste these things a little bit. You see, I burned out my money, my desire to make money in 1 month. I remember it as clear as day. I was like 23 and I was selling cars and I made like 10 grand. That was 25 years ago or so. And so I just, that was enough. I didn't need to spend years or decades trying to make $1 million. I saw right then that $10,000, that lasted me like 6 months. That it was like just a mess. The work and energy I had to spend to make that money just wasn't worth it. I felt like I sold my soul to the devil. I remember that was the thought that went through my head when I got my check and I was walking to my car. I'm like making money is not for me. Not if I got to devote so much time and energy into it. Like, what a waste of time. So see, those higher evolved beings, you burn through stuff quick. I've only had like 3.5 girlfriends, and I'm not going to answer what the half is. I've already answered it in previous videos. That was enough for me. And it didn't last that long, 6 months up to 2 years. But it was so intense because that's what it is. When you're when you're more evolved, you're gonna look at everything, and if that's your partner, then you're gonna she's gonna have to look at it with you, or she's gonna get burnt out or tired, her or he, and then it'll end. But man, being with the relationships I had for that short time, it blew away people that have been married for decades, as far as intensity goes. So I didn't need to, I burned through that quick too. That's my point. So let's go back to what I was saying. Mosquitoes are buzzing. Oh, I think some of you could hear, maybe. I've had comments where you said like you were laying on your bed and all of a sudden you got up real quick because you thought a mosquito was on you because you could hear it through my audio. So anyway, that's why I'm doing that. So those who the reason that it can feel like maybe it hurts a little, that your consciousness is evolving too fast, is because, well, number one, it is evolving faster than the average person because you're being done with things so quick. The other thing is, and this is what I was saying about the mind, the mind likes to create trouble with that because it says, like, well, what are you going to do here then? Like, what are you going to do? Like you're saying like you're done with everything, but like, then what are you going to do? And how are you going to have friends? And how are you going to like talk about the things they want to talk about? Because you're like, it's just stupid. You can play the role and play the game, but like it doesn't feel good. So then this tension, this dichotomy, I'm looking for a trail and I can't find it. That's nothing new for those who tune into me, intruders. Hold on.
Good morning.
Good, how you doing? So it's this tension that gets created because you know you're done, but by far and large, most of the world's not done. And so then you have this self-talk around it, like, what am I gonna do? On top of that, because the consciousness is evolving faster, your emotional body and nervous system and everything is like, it's trying to catch up. It's trying to sync with this higher evolutionary process you're in, while at the same time, the collective consciousness is trying to hold it down just via vibrations and frequency, because like I said, the mainstream majority, they don't even contemplate consciousness, or they'll just give some school book definition. There's no actual personal realization of what consciousness is. So that's weighing you down. So these are the things that make you like start to be like, this sucks. Yeah. Well, what's the solution? Is there a technique? Yeah, you know there's not. But when we talk about these things, it can vivify this knowledge you already know. You already know this, but we need to be reminded of things, because like, you're not going to read this in the newspaper, you know. So then God creates YouTube and books and stuff, and then has people like talk about these things, and then you tune into it. So see, the consciousness is always taking care of itself. It's going to find the things that it needs to do to strengthen these sometimes dormant spiritual tendencies. And then this way, you see, like, life takes care of itself. We don't need to worry about it. That's the good news. In the end, like, it's all good. You keep getting more stable, more stable, more stable inside. And you just start to trust the intelligence of the universe more than what your mind tells you. You don't start to read things based on your mind's analysis, because it's so low level. It just is so narrow. It sees like one little two aspects. You start to trust inner feeling. You're like, more and more, you're like, okay, it's okay. Oh, hurricane's coming, might wipe us out. Yeah. You know, people like don't like me. Yeah, that's good, actually. Where am I going to work? Because I can't fit in anywhere. Like, or I'm a retarded genius, so like I can't. Oh yeah, I got to make that video next. What do you do when your greatness is unseen? I'm going to do that right now. Oh, I have my book, by the way. I'm just my assistant tells me I should like remind people, so I'm reminding you. The link is in the description, and yeah, you can go to the website and check it if you like. All right, I'm gonna make this other video. I'll see you.